I'll open up the April 26th budget meetings and hearings. We'll start out with Superior Court. Mr. Nevels, thank you for coming.
Pleasure.
I guess I'll start out by saying that we had legislation to get into the Mountain Judicial, and y'all fought it, and it passed the Senate, but didn't get out of committee in the House. And what it would have cost us was $185,000 to go in the Mountain. Your cost for Superior Court and for Juvenile Court is $388,420. The commissioners are willing to give $180,000, and that's it. That's all we're gonna do, because if we's in the Mountain, that's what we would be. Y'all got anything y'all wanna add? We're on page 20. 20. Juveniles on 22.
What was the total again, Mr. Chairman?
The total of both departments is $388,420,
Right.
but we'll give $180, because that's what we would be if we were in the Mountain. The Mountain Judicial welcomes us there, but apparently Superior judges decided that they wanted to fight it. So that's what we're willing to give. Which is a difference of $198,420 savings to the county by going to Mountain.
I'll relay all this information to Chief Judge Booth and the other judges and other authorities.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sure.
Next up be Magistrate Ivan Moats. Judge Moats, page 27.
Page 27,
27.
Thank you.
under my book, when we get done today.
Y'all got anything on the first page? I don't have anything.
Where we at, Magistrate?
Page 27.
Your labeling didn't help.
You sure that? It seemed like Tim's icon was
Y'all got anything on the first page?
Well, I don't have anything first.
Second page, travel.
A few years ago when I got them down to 4.
Two.
2.
How many,
Why is it 27?
training sessions you got this week this year?
Well,
And the other judges?
Trend's 20,600.
Why is it up to 27?
What's that?
Your part-time judges.
16, 8, 17, up to 27, 17.
State implemented raises last year during the legislative session that was across the board.
But I don't think that included part-time people. It did.
According to ACCG or whatever it did.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's pretty good. You get $5,000 raise and part-time judge.
I didn't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, we know.
So do we need 2 part-time judges?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we went through that
Yeah, we went through
a
all.
couple of years ago, and if you got one that's gone and Ivan's at training or something, I didn't realize part-time's got it, but I guess they do. All right, y'all got anything else on that one? The only thing two things I got on the second page. One of them is, travel. You hadn't used any this year.
Just have submitted expense reports, pretty much used all that. This is the first time since 2000. Well, I think 2020 was the last time any expenditure on that was made due to everything going to video. I think that was like a one-day travel to Athens that I had. Since then, we've been doing video. This year, things are switching back. It's been a while since we did any travel, so fortunately, 2 went to a session this spring. I have one this fall, which will be in this budget. Of course, when things roll back around in January, the reason that shows such an increase is just in case we have 3 more before the budget ends for next year. Now, the odds are that it will kind of be like this year, that it will split. 2 will go in the spring and 1 in the fall, but we don't know what sessions are available until January of next year. That's why the big increase there.
So, but is
So,
it-
there's a good chance it won't be used. There will be 3 sessions, and instead of figuring for 4, they will just be 3 in this budget year. But there is a possibility we would need a 4th if all 3 of us have to go before the budget change next year.
So if there's just 3, would it be like $5,500,
Yes.
$6,000,
Yes.
$5,500?
Yes, exactly.
so there's more expenses coming in that hadn't been showing. Oh,
Yeah.
We don't have
What
it.
he just said.
Actually, they've just been submitted in the last,
2 weeks.
week or 2.
Yeah.
Could we go 55, and then in case there is 4, we'll just pull it out of contingency
I mean,
or something?
that's fine. You can do it either way. I mean, that's the only reason it is what it is
Yeah.
just to.
I mean,
just
if
in
you gotta
case
go,
there was
you
that
gotta go,
4th
right.
session.
General supplies material trend is 2,264. Can we go 23? Are you expecting any big expenses or anything?
I try not to have big expenses, but
Who knows what paper's gonna do and stuff?
that's right. If that's what y'all want, that's what it'll be, and if it ends up being more, it just has to be, but I try not to, spend any more than has to be spent.
Good deal. That's all I got. Y'all got anything?
Yeah, everything else.
I got a question for you, Justin.
Yes, sir.
We have a brand-new code enforcement officer, and we've instructed him that we want the I-85 corridor cleaned up in other areas in our county. Whenever he writes tickets, are you gonna support us on helping us get areas cleaned up in our county?
It
I
ain't
hope
my
you do.
job to express support. When the cases come, I will handle them.
Okay, all right, I appreciate it.
You want to summarize it, Randy?
I can, yeah. As far as the first page, then everybody's is good with that, no changes. And then on, as far as the travel, we're gonna use $5,500 with a possibility it could be $7,000. General supplies, materials, gonna go to $2,300, and that's the only changes that I have.
Okay,
That's it.
Is that good with you?
Appreciate it, Ivan.
thank you, Ivan.
Thank you.
Next on page 29 will be Judge Huell.
We ain't even friends no more. Aaron fixed his book up, and he just,
She didn't do a good enough job, huh?
No, she fixed it.
He just got to switch 2 pages, just flip
Why?
them.
Why did you fix this, bud? You took all
Appreciate
the
you coming,
fun out of it.
Judge.
Hey, Helen.
First thing I got is trend on PepsiCo is 32.25. We gonna make that about 33.
That's fine.
Y'all got anything else on that page?
33.
33. If not, next page, travel. You got training to go to, I guess?
Yeah.
It's at 35.
Actually, next month, have, training, traffic training, and then in fall, a big trip. They're just playing with that, they don't last number of that, and so I'm saying,
Okay. I got general supplies, materials, trend 6601. Go about 7,000 on that. You expecting to buy anything?
Major.
I'm not expecting larger expenditures, we can go with that.
Okay.
Because she's only used about 50% of it.
Well, I'm going on the trend. She's
Yeah,
she's
and
49.51 and trend is 66.01, so 7,000. Give her a little bit of cushion there.
7.
Yeah. And preserve books and records. You don't have any this year. You got any coming up?
I did not use the, allotted budget amount last year. It's so expensive to do those books, so I did have 4,000 in for this year, but I didn't use the 3,000 last year.
Okay.
I think 4,000 is the least expensive.
All right. Y'all got anything?
That's it.
You ready?
Also, two line items are making adjustments on the retirement, we're gonna reduce it to $3,300, you know, combined with what you got in the printout. And also, we'll reduce the supplies, from, the $7,000, which is running at the end of this now.
Okay.
Got you.
Well, we're gonna have to go with the QuickBooks, the monthly, charge, and so I did increase that technical just a little bit to, allow for that increase.
Yeah, I would have put it in their notes.
You already got that?
QuickBooks software list,
Okay.
got that in there, so,
Okay, so you've got that listed, that's good. All right.
good deal.
All right.
Is it in operation now?
No, not yet.
working?
Yeah, Judge Moat, I think is working on his, once he gets all the,
Kinks out of it?
yeah, he wanted to try it first before we download everything for probate court.
We don't have any glitches in technology, do we?
No, we don't. All right, we good?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
One thing you look on hers too, she always comes under budget.
That's your signature.
Good job.
We got fire coming at 9:30?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Fire's page 33. 33. And you might as well pull out 911 also while you're at it. And that's page 40.
33 and 40.
Take about half a book right there.
I ain't gonna keep rubbing that in.
She's gonna fix mine when we get done here today. I'm just gonna take your book.
That's fire EMS.
You said 40?
40,
Trade with it.
33 and 40.
Put my name on here and put it.
Is there a Kleenex in that thing? I put those drops in mine.
I think I passed mine.
Still running.
What do you think?
Yeah. He'll get over it.
I think I passed out.
I don't give a crap. Well, you know what? They pissed me off. Pissed me off.
No, 180.
Is what he said? 180. That's what we wrote down. I hope none of us don't have to go to court. Who we waiting on there?
Fire
Huh?
Fire.
Fire. Don't talk to nobody up here. Don't talk to nobody if Joey Barnes comes up here. Hey, I'm gonna hold it, but I may have to leave, cause I'll have to go take Charlotte. I gotta get Charlotte something. So I'm gonna have to leave, go get her something. She can't drive.
Fill her out, and I'll have the girls to make her one. What you want? Fill out you one, and fill out
And you
Charlotte.
can take it to her.
Yeah, and you can take it to her.
I'll have to call her in a few minutes and see what she wants. Step out and call her.
Hey, hand me y'all sandwich order now.
I ain't filled mine out yet.
Fill them out now. Charles, 80 filled out here.
Which one's best, smoked turkey or oven roasted turkey?
Smoke. Smoke's better. No.
I'm gonna circle them both. I'm gonna make them put them both
No,
on there.
slap it. Cajun, it's got a good flavor. It's
Has it?
not hot. That Cajun's good, ain't it?
Here.
What's going on? What's wrong? Huh? He sent you a message for him to call.
Huh? Where you ordering this from?
Some sandwich shop down there in the middle of Homer.
You get one choice.
No, you don't. Circle on one. Chris, circle. Two of them. Hey, Maxwell's, I rode on his all veggies. He's fat and extra jalapenos.
Look at my baby today.
Extra jalapenos I put on Maxwell.
Look today.
I know it.
I went down.
And they can't tell you what it is.
My insurance was charged over $78,000 last year. And for all these tests. Nothing. Okay. But I keep, mine way back there at the public, out there. They can't find it on X-ray. I got asked to leave the hospital on account of, well, he couldn't find the X-ray. I said, you know, I had me laying back, he took your hand up. He jumped, I said, well, you feel it? He said, I can't see it. I said, what is it? He said, if it ain't up here, out, that's what's on inside. I can't tie my shoe and breathe.
Wow. It's gotta be a hiatal hernia. It's gotta be.
What do you need?
What? Uh-huh.
just go to the hospital, we have one run hose. Must have right there. That's what
And
sometimes,
That's right, like changes, and you can make changes.
no, we hadn't made any changes.
I said, they gonna play hard, we can play hard.
Okay, back in the saddle.
If you talking about 132 by 10 by 4.
That wasn't planned for us to have a call right.
Hey, chief, like you bought your whole crew.
I
You part
did.
of them anyway.
Everybody's looking
This
good,
is the
too.
class for the day for them on
Top
budget
brass.
preparations. They need to learn firsthand.
Uh-oh. May be tough then. All right, page
33.
33. All right, y'all got anything on the first page?
Get over there, I'll read all his company.
You got anything you want to say before we start hammering away?
Money, we need money.
Bottomless pit, ain't it?
Only thing I got to say is we worked extremely hard this year on this budget. Believe me, it's been tough. Y'all know as well as I do what the fluctuations are in the economy right now. And it's just I hate to say a guessing game, but that's kind of where we are. Our medications, our drugs, our fuel costs, our tires, everything under the sun goes up and down. Vehicle repairs, if you can get the parts, we've been paying dearly for them. So we've really struggled hard this year with this budget.
No word on the chassis for the new med units.
I checked yesterday afternoon as I do weekly, and they have still not let their serial numbers out yet.
Jeez. All right. Y'all got anything on the first page? I don't.
Overtime. One of the overtime, I thought it was our understanding when the extra captain and assistant chief, and everything we put in, when somebody's out, you don't respond to their unit to where they gotta be, and one of them will take the salary person and take their place.
A lot of times they do that, but part of our overtime is built-in overtime.
It's built in.
40-hour schedule.
Arlene can probably answer a lot of that, because that's built in, because we're on a 40-hour week.
48 hours.
Yeah.
Understand that. But the extra overtime.
Well, he put in there for additional 9.
Do what now?
You got in here additional 9.
Well,
That's
supposed
what
to be
you had
6.
figured in. That's the
what
reason
covers
why
the
it was
6
higher.
We had for the SAFER grant. Because if you notice, we took the overtime requirements out to have for SAFER, and it moved over to regular budgets this time. So that's part of the increase on overtime also.
So I guess we pretty much zero out on that this year.
Last year on it.
Yep, that's where it's
That runs
coming
out
up.
June 30th.
Good one that lasted,
Sir?
a good one that lasted.
It was real nice while it lasted. We'd like some more of those. That's 2.5 years of paid salaries and overtime. That's
But
kinda
that
nice.
was a decision we made to add the 4th med unit, and that's where it's,
No.
that's where it hits you right there, the 4th med unit.
We got
We added it.
4.
Yep.
That was the one we had at Hickory Flat.
Response time, we cut back a lot better.
Yeah.
You look
Yep.
at their response time versus
next year's budget.
Fulton County, DeKalb County, we're running
45 minutes ahead.
sooner.
Yeah, we noticed a huge difference since we put that station up at Hickory Flats. And before we mention it, hopefully next week, we'll be back in there. Right now, everything's done except the countertops and the trim around the walls and to touch up the points that we marked on, it, go back and fix. then we'll be ready to move back in.
Good deal. All right, next page, I've got on retirement contribution, I'm at, the trend is 7,100. So I'm at 71 on that. Y'all got any?
One thing we asked for on retirement contributions while we're there, if you noticed on the last page of our budget, we asked to start paying the full-time fireman state pension side. It's $25 a month per person. Sheriff office pays theirs now for their full-time people. We pay our volunteers, but we don't pay our full-time staff. So we was asking to include that in the budget to start paying their full-time pension towards the state contributions.
We'll look at all that when we finally get to the end, find out where the numbers are, Randy, but we got it in here. Technical, I've got trended about a little under 8,000. I got 8,000 down there. You expect anything more on technical?
Yeah, if you remember right, we got our cardiac monitors last year, that we got them on a grant, and it saved us $300,000. Well, the warranty and the testing part of it runs out this year, so this next physical year, we'll be required to do our own testing on the cardiac monitors, on the med units and all. So that was the reason for the increase in technical.
Okay. Garbage pickup trends 5,200. Anybody said they gonna go up, or have they?
They
You
went up,
added an extra station also, right?
But
we
it's
added
in there
24
this year.
and 41's dumpster over there. So that's a little bit of an increase there. But they went up on us 2 years ago, so it wouldn't surprise me to see it go up again this year.
Yeah, 'cause you're already over
Right.
and negative there.
That's what I was looking at. We've already run over on our cost and garbage already this year, so we kind of calculated it out, and that's how we came up with the 7,000.
Have you shopped that with another company? I've had to shop mine at my shop, and mine went down tremendously.
That'd be a good thing to do, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Be nice if the county just got a kind of a general contract for everything,
Yeah.
and they put the dumpsters where we needed them.
Mine kept going up, and then
Might save us some money if we did that.
Hey, that's something we need to look into.
Well, right now, about the only places that you have the dumpsters is, fire, has them, and,
Correct.
rec department, because we can't even have them here at the annex or the courthouse that tear up the driveways, when you have.
We're well going
trucks behind
cans.
Those dumpsters, so
Right,
most of the locations, we have to use the cans,
right.
or how many ever they need.
those dumpsters is what is at my shop that got
Well, you
kinda
want,
sideways there. It wouldn't hurt to shop that.
you want to check it and shop those, Randy, or see,
Which companies you
see?
use?
Well, I'd say let the chief shop them.
Actually,
Let the
do
chief
it.
shop
We use Metro Sync, we use-
His.
April, there's you something. Get all over it, April.
called, 2 years ago, and when we was opening up 25, and, they got compared all the local prices between Waste Management and Waste Pro, and then the Metro sites were still doing it, and we called like 4 or 5 companies, we got the best one, and that's, when we put it at 25, then that's, we just honestly got that one was 24 and 41 from the same company. So we used the cheapest rate in.
A lot of time, the maintenance crew uses, most of the time, they take their, to the fire department's dumpsters, whatever part of the county they happen to be in, when they're just getting rid of some.
Right.
Somebody's been using our Hickory Flat one to put tires in.
Yeah.
We might blame that on the sheriff's mountain.
They,
got the
they
dumpster.
actually about filled the dumpster up there with tires, and we went and took the tires out of the dumpster and stacked them up so we could get them hauled off, and made arrangements to haul them off, went back the next day to get them, and somebody had taken the tires. So I guess they needed them, which is fine, we didn't have to haul them off.
That's right.
So we're just gonna leave it there?
Yeah, I guess so.
And
Tires and tubes. Trend on the tires is 13.3. I know you said you found them a good bit cheaper some, no, that was bad.
Generally, what we do on our tires, of course, we have to buy them as we need them through the year. Then any money that we have towards the end of the budget, we shop around and see what our med units is what goes through so many tires. So we shop around and see what we can get the cheapest price, and we actually found tires this year $150 cheaper than we paid for tires last year. So we buy up enough tires to anticipate with the med units with what money's left in our budget, our tire budget each year to make it through the next year on those tires. And that's kind of how we keep the price of that tire budget down as much as possible. So we just got 20 tires for med units right now. That'll carry us through most of the next year.
So you still showing here, you still got 56% of that budget.
It won't be now.
So it just hadn't come through yet.
It hadn't came through yet.
Okay, okay.
Well, if he did all that, y'all wanna cut it down to 16? 16,000. All right, building maintenance is way down. I got about 25 on it. Y'all got anything coming up you think of?
Actually, we were showing on building maintenance as of the last budget, we only had $650 left in our building maintenance account as of the end of the March budget.
I think what he's asking here is, see, like, you got 45,
Right.
does that include the front pad? We're gonna take the front pad out of?
Yeah, there is two improvements in there. One, we gotta do some renovations at 22 up Catfish Corners. It's just one of our oldest stations we got, and it's time to replace some flooring in it and do some cabinet work in there, which we're gonna try to do most of that in-house to keep the cost down. We did some paving up there about 5 years ago, repaved the front driveways and all. But what they did, they took up the concrete that was right in front of the bays, so now where the truck comes out and drops off the bay pad onto the asphalt, it's already rutted it out.
Down.
Then there's a hole there. And it holds water, of course, and water gets under it and it just deteriorates, so we gotta fix that pad area out there. Station 31, the one at Banks Crossing, there's some renovations down there, but nothing major. Biggest problem we got down there is when the ladder truck comes out of the station, it has to make a hard left turn. It's caused damage to the rear end of the truck twice already because of bending and making that turn right there. And we've actually hit the building with the bucket one time coming out already because you have to make an immediate turn the way the driveway's poured. So we're proposing to finish out the driveway and run it straight out to the road. It's only a small area right there in the front to keep from making that left turn as you're coming out of the bay. That's part of the inclusion in there.
Would that not come under SPOS,
Can
Randy?
come out of SPOS.
I think
We-
I'd
we
rather
love
lower it
that.
and come out of SPOS.
Yeah.
How about 22,000 on that? Cut it from 45 to 22.
Is that all we need down there, just to be paved out when you come out straight?
Yes, sir, just so it can come out straight.
It's a very small area.
Yeah, it's not a big area.
It's not very
We
large.
got it priced a while back, and it
It's
was
not
right at
big.
$20,000 to finish the concrete work on all of it.
It'd be small.
It wasn't bad.
Small equipment. Well, you chop out with all the pieces. Y'all expecting to have to buy any?
We always gonna be replacing some stuff. We've got a grant this last year, of course, for forestry, they got approved a couple of meetings ago. That's gonna take care of a chainsaw need for this year. Our biggest challenge that we have small equipment is all of our repairs come out of there. Chainsaw repairs, extra chains we buy, the small forestry pumps that we got on back of the brush trucks that we run. Got one now, it's gotta have a new motor on it. Those are all 15, 20 years old that we kinda got from forestry. So they've been through a lot. So just to keep those running and keep those repaired, that's why you see the cost of what it is there. And plus the lawnmowers.
I don't have anything else on that page, y'all.
That VFIS insurance on the vehicles and buildings, you think that 150 is gonna cover it?
A question on the licenses.
It's almost.
Do you have some coming in that's not showing on here now?
On the
The license.
licenses.
Cause it shows you still got 80% remaining.
I don't think we have anything else coming in this year, but they'll start with our med unit licensure, and we have to, of course, our EMS, EMTs, paramedic licensures come in. So that varies with the cost of them. That's occasionally why we have a little bit left over.
So what's the big jump?
I just wonder if we need to double check that, we need to bump it up.
We'll look at it
Let's
and
see, we're at 148, and that doesn't include these new structures in there, more likely.
It won't have 51 in it, so see, we'll start that one. So that'll add to it.
Can you let me know on that?
Yeah.
On the licenses, you've been running about 3,000 or 4,000. You got 15 on there. What's the? Well, we did approve 15 last year, but
That's what I'm saying, you got
What's the big
15
jump?
last year, now currently you've only used 3,000.
Mm-mm.
See,
Every
this-
other year, we have to do our whole renewal on
Right.
our
See, this
EMS.
year was 26,000.
So we have to renew everything.
And then you only used 3,000 this time, now you're going back up to 15, so it's every other year.
15,000 from last year. This is our small year, so we don't have to leave it. Next year, we'll have to renew our EMS license for the service.
so from July to June of this year to next year, you have to redo all of them?
Yes, it'll come up in November.
Okay.
You can see the previous year was $26,000.
So we got to remember next year when we do this, we're going to cut it way down because you had it way up.
I'm sure you won't forget, will you?
So I guess well, I'm gonna move on back up the page on testing. I mean, our trend's been, in the past few years, has been 20,000. We approved 33 last year, but 51,650?
See, this is the year we gotta do all the air Right.
Yep.
Oh,
Last time we got our air packs in the grant, they're actually January, starting in January, they've actually come usually hydro. So we got like 180 of those bottles that has to be sent and redone. The price we got, and then on top of all the other testing stuff we gotta do.
man, y'all killing us this year.
Yeah, this was a bad year. This
Yeah.
is EMS license year and testing year, which our bottles are not terrible, like you said, every 5 years. So you only
Still
gonna
gotta
get
get
every
tested.
5th year when the testing comes up on them.
Can't believe y'all had them 5 years.
Yep, they're 5 years old now. We actually, I said, we all that on grants, so we've never had to pay the testing on until this year. This is the first year that we have to pay the testing on the bottles. Sir?
How much is the new bottle?
New bottle will run you about $2,400 a piece.
Ain't cheap.
Yeah,
Whole lot cheaper to have them tested.
yes, sir. I promise.
Do the math.
Air pack now, where we used to get air packs for about $4,000, you're looking between $7,000 and $8,000 a piece for an air pack now.
Double.
So the turnout gear we used to get for $2,500 is close to $5,000 now. So it's becoming very difficult. Just the equipment cost is
What's
what.
the packs now, 20 years?
Yeah,
It's still 20 years?
it does. And see, we got all the air packs we got now, we got them on a grant. Well, that was
We're good for 15
$700,000
years
to
on
replace
them.
every air pack we got. As they become 5 years old, we gotta have them tested. At 10 years old, we have to have them tested a different way. 10 years old, the warranty runs out on them, so the IR is totally then. So we got a lot of steps coming in front of us with air packs and everything else, equipment-wise.
All right, the, education and training went sky high. I mean,
Freeman going.
sky high, like
Freeman?
double.
Sir,
You want to explain?
you're on the floor.
So we went to a new training software this year, it's called Vector Solutions. Previously, we were using systems that are all.
Well, it used to be Moodle, Moodle.
And they would do, pretty much each month, they would push out training for us to do, we paid a contract fee for them, they've stopped doing that now. So now we've got this
And to be honest with you, that cuts down our overtime too, as you was asking about before, because before we had the capability of pushing that out to the stations, we had to bring all of our folks in on their days off to train them. So that's overtime that we had to pay. So we was able to keep some of the overtime costs down by pushing these programs to the stations and them doing them in-house, other than coming up here and sitting in the class on their days off.
So some of your training still the same stuff, it's been the same thing for years, correct?
Yes, sir.
Nothing has changed, like, y'all went through what, helicopter,
Just went through one of them yesterday.
same thing as them for what, how many years?
They changed a few things, but it's nothing drastic.
Same thing as WA, right?
Yes, and it meets the requirements as far as our training goes with the EMS side of it. And we get to have local helicopter services to come in and teach here, so it saves us money, and we do those on shift, so that we bring our shift people over here and get trained, and we're not paying the overtime of the people off duty to come in on it too. So we kind of got that one worked out. That's an easy one. And we've been doing a lot of in-house training now. Of course, we have to pay instructors to come here to do it, but we do a lot of in-house training, which brings the instructions to us here in the county instead of us going to Forsyth or somewhere else and traveling and having to stay. So it benefits us cost-wise to bring that instructor here to teach our folks in the surrounding area at the same time.
It's like y'all do cross-training with other departments.
Oh, yeah, we include Habersham, Hall, Jackson, Franklin. We have a lot of different people at the classes and all. And they do the same thing for us. They put on classes and we attend them. Matter of fact, we share a lot of classes with Habersham now. We'll teach a class here, and their folks will come down here and take it, and then they'll put on a class next month, and our folks will go up there and take them. And that saves us both costs on both sides there.
Good relationship for mutual aid too.
Oh, yeah. It allows us to train together. And then when we do have to pull each other together for emergency, we're already trained with each other. They understand each other, they know each other, so it just works 100% better.
All right, general supplies material trends 21.5.
Yeah.
I'm kind of good at about 22 on that.
You got adding station 24 and mid 4, an increase in that.
There, we looked at the trends again, where we were running for this year. We know we added 2 different stations. It'll increase the cost of it. So that's why you saw the increases there.
We have EMS week still coming up, so that stuff, that hasn't been, funneled through the account yet either. So we've looked at, like, our toner for the printers and stuff like that for the stations has jumped from $60 to $150 a cartridge. You know, and the paper costs and stuff like that, it's just went through the roof.
That's April's budget.
Y'all good with 20, y'all good with 26 on that one?
Yeah.
You gotta cut him some. Medical supplies, trend's about 87 on that, which hopefully we get a lot of that back on the revenue side.
Hopefully. It's been good so far.
Good.
Yeah, we saw the trend run about 87. And like I say, with the cost of them going up and down, that's why we put the 90 figure on there. We figure we're gonna see another increase this year. There's not much way around it.
Randy and I talked about some of your drug supplies that you have to have. We got a suit that we were in with the opioid, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Anyway,
It is.
was there any way that we could
Opioids.
use some of that money to cover the cost of their?
It's there available, we're not sure what we can and cannot use it for at this time, but it is sitting in a separate account by itself until they make a decision whether they can use it. And we can, and I would just assume, that'd be great, I would just soon use it for that, because you're going out there picking up these people that
Yep.
has this occurring and using the medicine.
That grant was very vague. It doesn't spell out what you can and can't use, and we've had a hard time finding any answers on it, to be honest with you.
I mean, if we can, we will. I mean, you got approximately $63,000 sitting there for it, and we're waiting to see what we can use it for.
Be
In my
huge.
opinion, that's where it needs to go.
Yeah, I agree 100%. The state has been providing us with Narcan for our drug overdoses. We have to submit paperwork each month showing how much we use as far as drug overdoses go in the county. and the state's been providing us with the Narcan to replace those with. That's just a month-by-month program. It may stop at any time, but that saved us a lot of money. We use a lot of Narcan, believe me. It's unfortunate, but we do.
Infusion overdoses, correct?
Yes, sir.
How many do you average a month, ballpark?
Overdoses, we probably, I'll say we venture to run between 15 and 20 a week. That's a lot of it. We see a lot of cocaine, anything that's got the opiates in it. That's what we're seeing a lot of.
Sometimes it seems like half of them's in one day.
We, you know,
Start.
everybody used to
After
say it's
another.
all in the motels on the south end, and there is some down there. We run a good bit down there. There's a lot more people there, but it's countywide. It's everywhere. We've got little pockets of it around different places. We got our regulars that we run usually once a week that we know that they overdose. We go out, we Narcan them, we take them to the hospital, they're back home before we are. We go out next week and pick them back up again. You think maybe they'd learn eventually, but it hadn't happened yet.
Do we need to look at going up on some of the fees?
On what now?
Some of the fees? I mean, that we charge transport, or are we still
We
good
check
on
our,
that?
we check our transport fees once a year, just to see where we stand. And as of this year, so far, we're still about mid-tier. We're not the highest charge, because you're gonna get in the Hall counties and the Gwinnett's and the Jackson County ranges. If you get into those, we're not the lowest when you get into the Hart counties and the other counties and places like that. We're kind of mid-tier. But that's where our service kind of runs, is mid-tier also. We don't run as many calls as the Jacksons and the Halls do, but we run more calls than the Harts and than the Alberts do. So we try to stay mid-tier so that we're not taxing our folks with too much charges in there. We're trying to keep it pretty level. I think our service provides stuff that the others doesn't. That's where we're to an advantage. We've got protocols and we've got equipment that a lot of services would love to have. So we come a long way with the EMS side. I would say right now with our charges, we're pretty much in line with the Medicare climate and all. I think this year we're fine. Now, next year may be a different thing.
Okay.
We saw a lot bigger increase as far as our revenue coming in. 5 years ago, when we first started working on the EMS side of it, or 7 years ago now, I forget how long I've been here, we were taking in roughly between $200,000 and $400,000 a year on our revenue, and we're bumping $900,000 now with revenue. And I know we've had an increase in calls, but a lot of that's documentation and the way we're billing and the way we're keeping up with our paperwork, our electronic side of it that we push, which Keith and them do a lot with that. That's caused the increase that we saw in our revenue coming in.
Think so. Drug supplies, I got that at 46. Trend's 44. Y'all good at 46, or?
One thing on our drug thing, too, just for your information more than anything, in the past, we've gotten all of our drugs, especially the narcotic side of the drugs, we've gotten them from Homer Drugs. But due to state regulations and the things that they're pushing on Homer Drug now, they've elected not to supply us with the narcotic boxes that we carry on the trucks. So we've had to go to our own safes now that we put in place, and we've had to get DEA regulations and DEA requirements and certifications, and we do our own pharmacy filling of our boxes now in-house. And we buy our medications on flats now instead of individually. So I hope to see a reduction in our cost this year because of us doing our own filling processes and us doing it in-house now. But believe me, that's a nightmare. We have worked on that thing for a year to get it in place. It's been a lot of hard work. And part of it's computerized now. We can track that drug from the time we receive it until they use it in the field. And that box comes back to us to be refilled. We know exactly where the drugs are. We know they're tracked triple layer. So we know where everything's at now, exactly what patient they were used on, down to the T, the I's, the dotted, everything's crossed. We're great now on our drug supply side. So I hope to see some decreases in cost in that this year.
Good. Good. Uniforms, I've got trend is 12,300. I'm pretty good at 13 on that. Y'all got any suggestions?
And we got some of the invoices that have turned in, which should go up from the winter coats that we came into last month. So I gotta get those turned in, but a lot of that on the upside is we've got added in last year for more than the boot allowance went up. So we was only given $100 allowance, and then Harley said it was $140. Got added in the last year. And then a lot of the older people that's been here a while is, their uniforms gotta be replaced next year too. Instead of buying new uniforms, everybody go out every year, then we wait till theirs go get wore out before we have to replace those. We'll have a lot more to replace next year.
So in other words, you want like 15?
Believe me, we do take pride in our service now.
Yeah.
And we've changed a huge image with it, and uniforms is part of it. We want to look as good in the public as we present ourselves as far as what we do. And we got a little saying around the office there, you know, the citizens of Banks County deserve no less than anybody around us. If you live in Jackson County or you live in Fulton County, it doesn't matter to us. We think that these citizens deserve the same service as they do. So we need to look good while we're presenting that service to everybody, and that's what we strive for. We look to give our citizens the same level of service if they lived in Jackson County or Clark County or anywhere else. But we think they deserve the same.
And it has improved. We
Right.
appreciate it.
Well, in looking at that on the uniforms, you spent 8,000, you've still got 44% remaining.
It won't be soon.
You already,
Look,
He
I'll
just
start-
said they got a bunch of jackets.
A lot of times what we do, and it may be to our demise when it comes budget time, but we deliberately hold off on purchasing some things all year long till we get down towards the end of the budget. And if we don't see that we had any huge expenses in our budget that caused a problem for it being over for the year, then we'll buy the uniforms that we know is gonna have to be replaced soon. We'll go ahead and get those now. So we're in the process right now, before Randy cuts us off for this year, of buying those uniforms and getting everybody back up to standards where they need to be. So you'll see that number tremendously dwindle here in the next couple of months.
We can order winter coats back, what, September? They didn't come in until like February, so we just now got the invoices for those coats, so those invoices.
Yeah, I appreciate you holding off on things like that too, because sometimes people don't.
Y'all good with 15? 15. Books and periodicals,
what we say, 15 or 16?
15. We said 15.
Now you know why I brought help.
Books and periodicals. Are we expecting any gross amount of books we gotta buy?
So to continue doing the in-house classes, I gotta have the newest version of the books, which, last year I was able to buy a lot of our firefighter one books that we do our main firefighter classes with. This year I'm trying to get more of our aerial ladder truck books, and our officer books, our officer one, those classes, so that if we have the books, we can teach them in-house. We're not having to send them off anywhere else to take the class, we take everything in-house.
And then some of that is where we do our own in-house ACLS and PALS and all that now, and we finally got 3 or 4 sent off to get their instructor, and now we need the instructor book for them, so they can come back and teach it in-house. We ain't gotta worry about sending them to another department or another county to get their ACLS stuff done.
How about 2,000?
I ain't hearing nothing out of them.
I mean, we can probably make it work. I mean, with some of the books that we was trying to get where, we got like 3 or 4 instructors.
That'd be a
we're
lot
trying to
better.
get At least 2 books on some of them. I mean, we can cut it down to 1,
Okay,
try to make it work.
2.
Randy said 25.
She's trying to auction us up here.
Yeah, I think she's auctioneer, ain't she?
I'm just,
But then there again, how much money are you saving?
a lot,
Everything in there.
a lot. It's not measurable.
A lot of classes in-house, and you get more people to buy into it and come to them instead of them having to take time and plan to go to another county or somewhere else.
And again, we go back to, if we send somebody to another county now, I gotta backfill them here while they're gone, so that's another expense.
But then again, you'd rather have a lot of people inpatient than if you really needed them, you'd have them.
Absolutely,
Not too long ago, the sheriff was doing training up here.
yes,
There's about, what, 25 or 30 we had had all at one time.
that's nice, very nice.
The only thing I got is, diesel and gas. Your trend's actually 132, 133. Are you gonna be good with 120?
I hate to say that's a guess, but who knows with fuel prices? You drive through Banks Cross and coming to work in the morning and it's $3 a gallon, and you go back home in the afternoon, it's $3.25. And that's not
Yeah.
counting diesel. Diesel's worse than gas. And so we just try to take what is trending for the year, and
My trend was 133.
I'll trend with you. I'll be taking the
But I don't wanna go that high, because
I
I think some
I
of them
don't
may
think
ride around a
120
little
is
bit
gonna make
much.
it, to be honest with you. I think
We might need to go to about 125 on that.
let's go to 133 like you trended.
No, about 125. Gotta make you sweat a little bit. Can't give you everything.
The other bad thing about fuel, you try to get close as you can on the budget, because you know we gotta have it, even if we run out of finances, but we don't wanna be in that position if we can help it.
Gotta have it.
Did you go with, the, books? You went 22 or 2? 22? Gotcha.
No,
Oh, 2.
2,000.
Randy's better. We like his price better. It's sold.
Okay,
You ignore the peanut gallery back there.
okay, I don't see any changes that you had on the, first page with the
Right.
second page, retirement contributions, we reduce it to $7,100. The, tires and tubes is $16,000. Building maintenance, we came down to 22,000, and what other repairs and pads that's needed, we're gonna pay out of the 22 SPOS. Page 35, you're looking at, well, we didn't make any changes on VFIS, but I asked the chief to take a look at it again, because we're already at $148,000 on that insurance, and we've added new vehicles and buildings, and I'm not quite sure that 150 is gonna cover it, so he's gonna take another look at that. There was no other changes on that particular page. Page 36, we've got, general supplies and materials to 26,000, medical supplies to 87,000, drug supplies to 46,000, uniforms to 15,000. And then on page 37, we adjusted the diesel and gasoline to up to 125,000, books to 2,000. You got any other?
Randy, what'd you say at medical supplies?
Medical supplies at 87,000.
87.
911, page 40. Is Leah's gonna do this one for you?
She's gonna try. She's gonna help. I told you, this is a learning phase.
What page is that, Sean?
Be 40.
40 right there, E9.
Danny's quick over here. Thanks to Aaron. I'm gonna rip all your tabs out at lunch.
On the PepsiCo match on the next page, I've got 20,200. I'm gonna go 21. All right, on your technical, you got about $104,000 jump. Is that with SO or what? On technical.
Part of it is that now that we've made some changes in the 911 section, we've readapted to the SO side. So it's come back to us now for all the communication needs, where he had it separated out before. So we picked up some different stuff there. A lot of the changes in the technical comes from the side of, we owe the CAD maintenance each year is going up. We've already got the notice on it, so we know it's going up this year. So everything in technical was figured out line item by line item, what we was gonna be using it for, as far as paying our reoccurring costs to keep our equipment in 911 going. And that's how we came up with 168,000.
So that's pretty much fixed then. Well then, do we need to zero out the sheriff equipment?
Sheriff's
Or is
equipment,
that
so they buy
completely
their
different? Is
radios,
that
for the
radios?
cars, the radios, their computers, their in-motion systems that they pick up with their air cards and stuff for the computers. That's where all that money comes from. It's just for their hardware equipment that they use in their vehicles, over their portable radios, that kind of thing comes out of that. That's the quantity that they asked for next year.
Now, Randy, were we putting that, was that in the sheriff's budget originally?
Originally, at one time it was, but I believe we had it back in there last year in 911, did we not?
They moved it back last year.
They asked to move it back into the 911 fund, but in the past, it had been listed in the sheriff's department's line item.
We gotta make sure that they don't have that included in there
Oh, absolutely.
this year's.
Yeah.
One
We'll have to
thing that
remember
we're
to
up,
ask that, because we don't have it line item from them.
one thing that we're up against now with the radio side of it, since we're talking about the communication equipment, our radio system's just over 10 years old now, and the known life of a radio is 10 years. It's kind of like computers, the known life's 4 years. It may exceed a little bit, it may fail before that 4-year period. Same thing with radio systems, about 10 to 12 years is your max on a radio system, you're gonna have to do upgrades, and we're to that point. So instead of coming up here and sitting in front of you guys and going, I need $500,000 to do upgrades to the radio system, I've kind of broke it out over the next 3 years, where we're coming and asking for a little bit each year, so that we can get this radio system back up to the standard it needs to be. And in doing that, we're gonna have to replace mobiles and portables, because they're to that age limit now, and the wear and tear on them, they just about had it. We're asking for like 10 each year, and that's part of the increase you see in the fire's budget and the sheriff's office budget as far as radio equipment goes. We're trying to do 10 of them each year, instead of coming, like I say, coming at one time and telling you I need $500,000, which you really don't wanna hear me say that. So you'll see a little increase for the next 3 or 4 years on there, just to get this radio system back up to where it needs to be, without having that huge amount that we asked for at one time.
Now, Randy, is that something that can be took out? Because we do have 911 equipment in the new SPOS.
Oh, yeah, it can be,
Isn't it?
no doubt about it.
Kind of be my preference. What about y'all?
Most definitely.
The equipment.
Yeah.
Put it in the splash, yes, yes.
Do you want that in the line item for, you see it, you see in the communication equipment 911, which is account number 522201, you'll see in your notes that it's replacement and upgrades to current radio system. You want to use the bulk of that under SPOS?
Yeah, I think we probably need to leave a little bit in there for
Right.
little stuff, but I think majority of that needs to come
How
out.
much of this do
SPOS.
you leave in there, Chief? Would we take the bulk of this out of SPLOST? How
You
much
talking
would
about
it-
52201?
Maintenance, I guess.
We actually pull maintenance and all out of that account too, and that's roughly 35,000 a quarter.
Hmm.
So you're at about probably $50,000 for maintenance there.
140, if it's 35,000, 140,000,
So we'd leave 150 in there
leave 150.
approximately, but the rest of it be splossed.
Make sure you take into account to take that out of SPLOST. What would it be on that, besides the general maintenance of,
Okay,
which was Gumbo probably, right?
yes. What about the sheriffs and the fire departments?
We should be able to take that out of
Those come out
splost
the wash too?
too. But we probably need to leave a little bit in there for odd and end stuff, like about 5,000 or so.
Oh, yeah.
In both the fire and
Each one of them.
sheriff.
Now, the sheriff, if you did that on the communications sheriff, that'd have to go towards his, which the chief had said that this, to equip the automobiles, it'd have to go out of his vehicle
that's fine.
expenses. So,
I'm good with it, y'all.
I am, yeah.
So it come out of splash out of his side?
that's correct.
Okay. I'm making notes as we go so I can keep up where to
Right.
take it out of.
That would be out of the sheriff's department's 2022 SPLOST vehicle expenses.
That'd be 2113 category, right?
That's correct.
Yep,
Now, how much do you want to leave in there?
5.
5,000.
And the same thing out of 21114 be 5 left in it.
And that's the fire.
That's the fire side. And then the 2201, we gotta leave 150 in it for
Correct.
maintenance.
Maintenance cost, yes, sir.
But then that other 125 can be pulled out.
Correct.
We good with that?
Good.
Next page. We cut advertising down to about 100.
Yes. Oh. I heard a monkey squeak back there.
I'm not paying attention to that.
Public relations, I think you got down there as your notes, wasn't it?
For, yeah, for when we do the school activities,
Mhm.
we don't really have anything otherwise to be able to classify.
All the PR stuff, yeah, that we use, give them little helmets and racers and pencils and stuff like that at the schools when we had the school fairs.
Can you buy part of it this year? Because you hadn't used
We
any
already
this
have.
year. Do what?
Used it, we've already have and used it.
Oh, you have?
It's just not showing.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Leave that at 2, correct?
Yeah. Trend on general supplies and materials is about 5,600. Good with 6. I guess so. I didn't hear nothing. EMA supplies.
That's the one where we get our PMDG money and it comes in. So it kind of offsets itself.
So it kind of comes in at one time.
Yes, it comes in once a year. Keep in mind that the state, in their infinite wisdom this year, has reduced that by 10% because GEMA needs more money. They took it away from the locals. So we lost
Figured.
10% of that money. So we'll see that change just a little bit. We can actually drop that amount by 10% because that's what they took out.
Really?
Yes, sir. Basically gonna be 7,000 then.
I've got, LP at 1,200. And that's still a little over trend, but Went up just a tick.
The only reason we raised those was just not knowing the gas prices. And every one of our radio tower sites has generator backup at it, and they run off the LP.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing with them. We don't have any ice storms and no major power outages. We don't use a lot of gas. Other than it runs once a month to cycle itself to check it. That's all that it uses. So, but there again, I say, who knows about LP prices, what they're gonna
Well,
do.
we've already signed contract.
We got a great price on LP this year.
Good, maybe that'll help.
Good price on it.
But all the outline stations are up and running now.
Yes, sir.
Everything.
Yes, sir.
Towers. Towers.
What you got? That going to 1,200?
On energy and equipment, I'm at 16,000 on that. That's a little above trend.
What was that?
Energy.
Energy and
1,000.
electricity.
But he asked for 7.
Another one I got is gasoline and diesel. I'm at 1,500 on it. And that's above trend, just a little above trend. And that's higher than 2 years ago.
More addresses,
Huh?
more addresses.
Well, that,
15?
A lot of that is for the 911 tower, diesel, I mean, the generator, or diesel.
Yeah, we do have, like, 911
we
tower.
got a 911 tower,
So we do have that one. The Pinozo tower runs on diesel.
and then the
So
address.
we got the 2 diesel costs there, and, of course, the gasoline, and we do provide a vehicle when they go to Forsyth for the training, so back and forth for it.
But in 2020, used 1,000, 21, 755, and part of this year was 900, so trend's about 1,500.
We'll try it.
And tower lease is what it is on the last page, so.
Okay, you got any other questions on that, Chief?
You on review? You on run the?
Yeah,
over-
but I don't, we didn't see any changes on page 40. On page 41, we're gonna reduce the retirement to 21,000, which is more like the trend it probably should be. Communication on the sheriff's department, we're gonna reduce down to $5,000 because the additional amount, we're gonna play out of the 22 SPOS. Communication fire, which is portable radios replacements, we're gonna reduce that down to 5, although we're gonna go ahead and pay it out of the 22 SPOS as well. The communication equipment 911, which is the upgrades to the radio, the current radio system, we're gonna keep the maintenance at $150,000 and pay the difference out of the 22 SPOS. As far as the general supplies and materials, we're reducing that a little bit to $6,000. EMA supplies to $7,000. Energy propane to $1,200, and the energy electricity, we're gonna mark it at $16,000.
Gasoline, diesel, 15.
General supplies and materials, which is at 64, they're gonna change it to 6,000. And then, the gasoline and diesel to $1,500. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Got anything else you want to say?
The propane was a new contract, is this company gonna provide those little, the wireless Bluetooth cases that they put on there?
Yeah, they're supposed to.
This is, once we got them on all the stations, this is the first time last year that none of our stations, outline stations, or any of them run out of fuel because some of the outline stations were, and honestly, it's, where we go over
sir. We'll
Thank you.
look at it at the end. Thank you. Might as well. That's your chance.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate the peanut gallery. Well, Liz, the only one that didn't say anything. Liz? Did you? Thank you. Next election, page 4. Let's take about a 5-minute break.
Here, get Arlene, fill out that. If she wants lunch.
Are they gonna come? Defects?
Yes, the
Yesterday,
road,
we asked them to come.
hey, is the road department coming or not? Yeah. Yeah, but we asked for them to come. But we asked for them to come though, I don't care. Okay,
Well, we did elections too.
okay.
We did defects.
But I can't miss a broadside of a morning. I hit it.
He's gonna have to come before us at some point in time.
He's hit too.
Road, yes.
Yes, how much yes.
I'm gonna stand up for a minute. Let's eat some okra.
Let's eat some okra. I've called lunch.
Oh, my back. Oh, my back. Till they look at it. Oh, my back.
Oh, got a crowd here, all right.
You can't hear. No, we do. Like when I go back and listen, I just have to guess at it.
hoarding off of people?
This is a pleasant surprise. I guess she thinks I need it.
You got us 5.
Coconut milk.
Aaron said she didn't.
No,
It helps the neurons in your.
Arlene's I got yours, sent. Keith I sent,
How about Chris's?
Charlotte's,
How about Chris?
That's good.
You got Charlotte,
Chris.
Danny,
Nope, I didn't get that sent.
and then Papa.
Good gracious.
You get yours?
We went from
But I
nine
didn't
to
get
there.
that.
No, 'cause you jacking around with him, wasn't you?
I should have. There it is. Let me send that. It was held in draft. That's why.
Oh,
All right, she's got, how many she got? She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 7. Arlene, us 5, and Charlotte. Yeah, 5, 6, 7.
who's Charlotte? Who? Oh, my.
7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 4. Oh, I got 6.
Arlene's, I threw it away.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Ready? All right, we'll get back at it. Page 4, elections. Appreciate all y'all young ladies coming.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
Starting out with a compliment, ain't we?
You upside
We
down,
on
that
page
doesn't mean
4?
opposite.
With all of us young men.
I don't know about
Okay.
Y'all got anything on first page? I don't. I mean, everything on that's trend. One thing on the, maybe on the next, yes, on the next page. Department head,
I'm talking about on the front page now.
yeah, on the front page. Arlene didn't come back, she's on the phone.
Probably need, you may reach out, and see if Arlene come in here.
Well, she's on the phone.
Oh, is
and, Yeah.
Well, we can come back to that, I guess.
Pretty important meeting thing.
That don't look right on the department head.
Well, but we gotta do 18 months on that. And that looks a little high. We'll skip that and see if Arlene will be back. 'Cause I get a little bit less than that.
How many, since we're on the front page here, how many we're gonna be having as far as health insurance is concerned? How many will be on?
You'll have 1.5.
Okay, so we're looking.
You'll have 18 months worth of group insurance, basically,
18 months worth of
in
group
1 year.
insurance.
'Cause you'll have a full year and then a half.
And that would be, goes along with the life insurance, short-term disability, all that.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll have to change is probably the social security somewhat. And what about the retirement?
I left it the same because you don't know who you're, I mean,
Okay,
because they are gonna be on probation for a while, and I mean, I left it the way it was, what's approved.
okay, so I'll do 18 months on the group insurance, life insurance, short-term disability, and then I'll figure out the social security once we determine what the department heads gonna be, and work into social security. And I guess the legal fees, you wanna leave it as is, correct, or?
Yeah, I mean, but, I mean, they're requesting 1,000, but are you expecting a
Hope
big
not.
uptick?
We do have elections.
Yeah, we do have elections.
Next year's a different story.
Guess we better leave that 1,000, 'cause
Okay,
the last 2 years ago, when had a major election, it was 750, so.
Where y'all, what outline
The
item?
very bottom of the page. Page 4, very bottom.
Very bottom.
Legal fees.
You got it? All right, next page. All right, education and training. Trend is 3,750, you got 4,500.
I did up that a little bit because you've got a new supervisor coming in. They're gonna have to do the yearly conference with the board members to keep their certification, but they're also gonna have to obtain their certification in, registrars. They're gonna have to obtain their certification in election official and do the election official training at KSU where they actually learn the circle and vote and that. They're gonna have 3 things that they're gonna have to get to conduct an election. That's something that
So you expecting to get somebody doesn't know anything about any of this?
I am hoping they have all this, but I don't know if the state's gonna say if you jump county, you're gonna have to come back to us. I don't know if they do that.
I probably do, knowing the
I'm
state.
thinking they may require them to do some kind of training if the state changes counties.
Okay. Y'all wanna leave it 45? All right,
Which one?
the education training.
Mine has nothing written on it, mine's blank.
You ain't got that sheet?
Uh-uh.
Keep looking.
Danny ain't either. I've been
You
flipping
don't got one before that?
all the way through it.
Look before
Uh-uh.
that.
Right there's that one. Then I hit commissioners. See here?
We don't have the one that they
Commission.
requested.
Uh-uh.
I don't have one.
I mean, Danny ain't either. Chris ain't either. No, I can hand write it in.
Well, but y'all need to know what's requested,
Right. Copies.
I'll just run down the list.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, and we can hand,
All
Yeah.
right, the department head,
Oh, let me get back on.
let me-
all the way on page 4.
Yeah.
yeah, I have it.
81043,
I don't have that.
No,
Oh.
I've got 48.
81043.
81043, okay,
Registrar's 25,000 even.
okay,
Temporary employees, 3,000 even.
okay,
Overtime, 4,500
Okay.
even. Legal fees, 1,000 all the way at the bottom.
okay,
Next page, technical, 7,500.
okay,
Okay.
Building maintenance, 500. Ballot cost / programming, 17,500. Travel, 1,500. Education and training, 4,500. Poll holders, 18,000. General supplies and materials, 12,000. And that's all I've got on that. All right, on the, poll holders, you got 18,000. The last 2 years, since you've been voting in one place, you're 6975 and you're 8,000. You plan on going out to the precincts?
The problem we have with the year before last, in 2020, elections kept getting pushed back, and we didn't hold as many elections. The presidential preference that we're gonna have in February or March, we didn't hold it in 2020, it got canceled due to COVID. So when you're looking back at that year, it's a little wonky because things got changed around so much that year. Also, on the poll holders,
But if you're bored, that should come under registrars.
They do, their pay does, but I'm saying whoever comes in to give them that lunch break, there's 5 people working, if they go lunch, somebody's gonna have to come in and fill in 5 hours a day, so they take an hour lunch. Does that make sense? I mean, somebody's gotta give them that.
Yeah, I got it, but I mean,
And I don't know where that.
we're talking about
We need to go back.
we're talking about twice as much as 21, 22.
But you got early voting, you've got 6 days for 2 weeks and 5 days for the next week, so you've got 12, 17 days. And somebody is gonna have to do 5 hours a day for those days so that they can have their break, their lunch break. I don't know, if y'all wanna take that up, I mean, if you wanna add somebody, to temporary employees, but if you put them on as a temporary employee, you're gonna have to set them up different before. If we had an emergency and somebody had to be out, one of the board members, we could bring in a poll worker and add it to their election day pay. Without having to set them up as an employee and send them for the drug testing and screening and all that, it was just cheaper to take it out of the poll holder. Somebody who works election day can come in and do that 5 hours.
We're gonna have 4 elections, right?
In this budget, you'll have 3. You're gonna have the presidential preference, you're gonna have the May primary and the runoff from the primary. And then in the next year's budget, you'll have the November general and the runoff. And when you're looking back to last year, it was 2 elections, because that was the November and the December runoff.
And then the year before that was 6,900, but that was an off year, I guess.
But you got 3 elections with somebody doing 5 hours a day for 17 days. Is what you can have. Just their lunch break.
So if you got 3, you had 2, it was 8,000, so you got 3, you got 12,000. So you got 12,000 normal, so if you added 1 person, would that cost you about $3,000 then?
You'd be looking at 15.
You'd be looking about 15,000 then.
Yeah.
Y'all wanna go with 15?
My figuring showed 15.
We'll go with 15. General supplies and materials, 23, we approved, 10,000, you're asking 12 this year.
Thing we're gonna run into on our general supplies is, postage. Every ballot you mail out, every application for an absentee ballot you mail out is coming out of that. Last election we did was 72 cents a ballot to mail someone a ballot. There's been 2 postage increases since we did this. I do not have an idea where that cost is gonna land. And it's a gamble, how many people are gonna ask for that absentee ballot? You have no idea how many you're gonna mail out. Rough estimate, I always figure 500, but if something happens in this crazy world, then you have more than that. And state law requires that you get that application today, you mail that ballot 5 tomorrow. You have 24 hours to mail that ballot out. And then your general postage for everyday postage, we have to mail a letter. If we go on a precinct card, all that comes out of just our general supplies, everything from ink pens to postage to, anything we have to have comes out of general supplies. It's all lumped in one group, that's the reason our general supplies are high.
Okay, gotcha. The trend on energy and electricity is $5,300. I don't know why it's been so high in the past. Do you know, Randy? Trend's 5,300, how about 6? Telephone's 48. Yeah. That's still getting a little fudge room. Telephone is what it is. Anything else?
On building maintenance, is 500 enough? Cause
Depends.
I encourage every one of y'all to go up and walk through. I went up, walked through, and there's several things up there that needs looked at, fixed. Bugs. Cause I stepped in one of them and like never got it off my foot.
Is that shared?
Snakes.
Is that building maintenance, does the fire department that's there in the same building, do they share the maintenance cost, or is that just?
Well, if it's worked on in the fire department, then it gets charged to
To the fire
fire department. If it get worse
Yeah.
on them, it,
Yeah.
I mean, I know one thing right off the bat, we gotta put a door up. So,
Yep.
And we're gonna have to look at some,
Other things.
yeah, some other things over there, I don't know if that'll be maintenance or not, I mean, we've got,
One thing, when we're early voting, especially, let's say it rains,
yeah.
or it's really cold, and people have to stand out, they're just out in the weather, there's no, there's no cover.
Right.
They can be done, that has been a problem,
well, one thing, and I hadn't really talked to the other party of it, and we've kind of battered it around some, but the big part of the adult literacy for early voting, if we could, because you got more room to spread out in that, a possibility, and that way, during that time, we could change the locks where y'all only have the key, and then y'all have to come in the back way all the time, but the door in the front would also have y'all's lock or whatever, and that way it's, because it does have an alarm system there, correct me if I'm wrong. It's got an alarm system there, it's a big room. If y'all want to entertain that, then we'll go up there one day, I'll get with them, and, because it's a pretty good sized room in there to spread it out and get people, because I think then they could probably come in out of the weather and line up, and then have the voting.
Just remember, when you change anywhere, anybody vote,
I understand.
you gotta have 90-day notice to that voter, so make sure that when you go to look at these buildings and you schedule all this, that you're at least 6 months out, so that you can order precinct cards, you can properly notify the voters, so that you don't get sued over not doing that. Just make sure the timeline gets back.
We'd have to look at that immediately. We'd need to look at that immediately.
Yeah.
Does that seem like an option for you guys?
We
If-
don't have, this is the first time I've ever come to y'all budget hearing that I didn't have my next year's calendar. Everybody in the state, in my seat, asking for that calendar, and we don't have it, so.
Well, that's the reason why,
They are
Since
moving
y'all all
it from
come.
here to constantly. No one makes that decision, it seems. Everybody's laying it in somebody else's lap.
well, I didn't know whether y'all would even want to consider it. If you do, then that'd be something we could do within the
about-
We
next
can
week
look
or
at it
so.
anyway.
What about,
It's an option.
what about over there? I know they have restrooms and all. Are they accessible to be used for people that are voting? Have all the restroom facilities and all?
Power those machines up, those little battery backups that we operate, a lot of electricity, I've got 2 plug-ins in that room right now. In that front room, the way those that are not even used, when they were not full. What those battery backups are pulling under those machines that you vote on. Make sure you've got electricity, you've got computer connections, because
Well, I mean, that's something we'll have to all look at, but, I mean,
You'd have to go with us, we need to have.
but I didn't, I didn't want to plan it without both sides being okay with it. We'll get with them first of next week and see if we can't.
You like that place up there? I'm pretty sure it's set up for what she needs, but sooner the better go look at it. So you and some of the board, Charles, and some commissioners go up Friday.
Why don't we do that? A couple of schools there, just go to their board meeting Thursday and then just,
Bring
Go look at it.
all you want, right?
We'll get with, adult literacy and find out, cause you're gonna have early voting, sometime like starting mid-January or something like that. Then election will be May? So you're looking at April months.
I'd say.
And then possible runoff, when a possible runoff, if there is a runoff in June.
They do it like last year, we did June, so we'll have probably a week to 2 weeks.
So you'll have April and May, you might as well book up. And January, half of January.
Just send an email and I'll get everybody together and we plan.
All right. Let's go back to, department head, since Arlene's here. Is that 81, is that right? I'm thinking it's more down there around 72 to 75 on
Yeah.
elections department. Because we're looking at 18 months, basically.
When we worked on the department head amount, we used, of course, the 6 months left with the annual salary. And then, you know, we knew the minimum and maximum of what was prepared by the county. And we used the maximum because we were hoping we could get somebody that was, you know, well qualified. Bring somebody in well qualified, it's gonna take some money.
That's probably where my numbers is off,
many-
because I was taking mid-range. Yeah.
what about, how long do you need to train this person? How soon do we need to be looking for
They're
this?
hoping 6 months.
Experience, if they have no experience, it probably would take 3 months to train more, and then they're gonna have to get their certification after they learn the daily workings. You get somebody that's already got all that, she'll hire an officer and not pay for it. And that's where you can be flexible when you start them, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a vacation week, depending on a due date with my daughter, either the last week in June or the first week in July. So if you start July first, I'm not gonna be there because I've got to be out for that. I have to be out for that. So, you know, just, we can work out when we get somebody how much, you know, you're gonna have to pay them when they're gonna start. The more experience they have, the less they're gonna start. It's better, I guess, to have the money in there and be able to bring it down and have it left over than to not be able to get, if you got somebody qualified to come in, who have everything, you have somebody come in off the street that has nothing, and you need that top pay, you wanna get that person who's got everything. Because going into next year, they're going
When's your last day?
December 30th
This year? Next year?
this year.
Next year?
She said she is through with elections, fella.
It's not been much, because, my parents are aging, I'm the only child. Last month I had, my granddaughter who's diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. I'm gonna have to have my daughter, she's having another baby, but she also has twins, she's gonna have 4, and she's got her rent full, and I got my hands full, and life just keeps spinning.
Mm.
Chairman, I did not come up with that number. We basically take her salary for 6 months, if we can get someone in here July 1, you know, the new budget year that we're reviewing now, plus, the current salary, the current annual salary, we can have that. I came up with 72,696, that would supply 18 months total.
That's the reason I kinda went more 75 in case there was something there in there.
So you want 75 on it?
Yeah, let's go 75
75.
on that.
I'm told to advertise it, then hopefully I can get someone in by July 1, but I have to start advertising pretty quickly.
Well, I mean, best case scenario, worst case scenario, however you wanna look at it, 18 months. So, we put 75 in there, Randy. You want review? You want? Just what we changed. Just what we changed.
The department head, you got at 75,000. And do you have 25 on registrars? Okay. And you
Yeah,
got
we do.
3,000, 4,500. And I'll figure out the group insurance, life insurance, short-term disability on 18 months. We'll have the change in the legal fees to $1,000. You've got on the poll holders, we're reducing that to 15,000. The energy and electricity, we're going at 6,000. And I believe that's all the changes you have. That's it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, ladies. We appreciate it.
Y'all have a good one. Don't get too wet.
Who's next?
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Who's next, Mr. Tuck?
Well, I think that's about it until we get, water. Yeah, water's next at 1:30.
Really? Well,
We may want to move it to 1. Can we move it to 1?
We've got the defects lady at 11:30.
Is she?
Yes, what, Brandon? Charles, Brandon's got defects coming at 11:30.
We got what?
Defects is coming at 11:30.
At 11:30? Oh, okay. DFAC's coming at 11:30. I need to go call Steve.
Deep fast. Deep.
We can.
Turn it on.
Y'all want to recess till 11:30?
That'd be great.
All right.
what to eat you eat. He likes them things. Hey, that's a good, me either. I ate some cheese crackers for breakfast.
That's what I had, and a cup of coffee.
Yep. I had a big old cup. Hey, I had regular coffee mixed with mushroom coffee. It was good. It's real good. What?
I haven't heard of mushroom